This week, we have another guest that is working to prepare himself for the NFL draft. And actually, he will be at the NFL Combine. So here we welcome the big and great Jelani Woods. Thanks so much for joining us today, Jelani.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I'm a little jealous. You're in California, beautiful 70 degrees weather. Meanwhile, I'm back in Virginia and I have to layer on those sweaters. How's everything going in California for you?
Everything's going really well. Like you said, nice place that I'm at right now and near Los Gatos, California. So it's near San Jose, and it's going really well so far.
So what have you been doing in California to really prepare yourself for the NFL Combine and draft?
Really just simply just making sure I hit the details of like what to expect when it comes to being in the going to the combine and stuff like that. I have a great coach with Cal Strength, Coach Dave Spitz, and he really um, has had great results with athletes, especially like me, tight ends. With the agency I'm with, there's a lot of tight ends here as well. So been all competing with each other, just getting better pretty much every day. And I think that's what's one thing that helps with especially going to the combine, being able to compete with other guys and kind of seeing where they are and kind of, comparing yourself to that and then putting yourself in a good position pretty much.
I was going to actually, my next question was about how much do you learn from each other being in an environment like this?
You learn a lot. Like I kid you not, we are together about 23 hours out of the day. We even have problem going to sleep because we always talking or trying to not necessarily combine work, but just field work in general, games where what we saw, teams we played against, and just talking and building that kind of like that brotherhood, I would say, and yeah, pretty much that. Like it's kind of crazy just being here with a lot of other top tight ends and competing in a hostile environment. I would say like we all work out really hard, do on the field work really well. It's really nice.
Have you seen your game improve already? What are some of the aspects that you've seen? Wow, okay, in just what, about 2 months, I've already seen this part of my game really vastly improve.
I would say with me, it would be more of the being introduced to the like yoga, Pilates section, just different things in that nature. We have like this specialist that works with us. He has like this Eastern Chinese like methodology where it's like it kind of helps with your nervous system, flexibility and everything. And I became very like much flexible within the time that I have worked with him, and that already translated from doing that and then going into the strength game. That translated a big time for me because I was able to move way better and create a more advantage for me as well.
Actually, let's expand a little bit on that. What was something that you learned from these classes? What is your given day when you do these workouts?
I would just say pretty much is I would say just the importance of it. That's what I learned because it kind of like especially with him, we call him I forgot his name, but he works on our like different nervous systems and how we react in our muscles and help us pretty much become more flexible. And with him, that already helped me because that was one thing. Of course, I it was one main thing I needed to work on was just my flexibility wise, and it helped a lot. It was pretty much quick results, and I just been working on it every day, making sure I stay consistent, and developing that habit of just hitting down on those things and continue getting better pretty much.
And that leads me to the East West Shrine Bowl because that's where you left a really big mark, Jelani. And you were invited to the NFL Combine due to what you did in those practices and that game. How great was it for you that you got to showcase your talent, and obviously you earned the respect of those who choose who gets to show out their talents in NFL Combine?
Oh well, I actually had the NFL Combine once the season ended. Um, I ended up receiving the NFL Combine. I think on the first when they started giving them out, I was able to get it then, and I would say it did help, verify me as being in that group of what I did at the Shrine game. I feel like I pretty much, made my name even more and become more out there as in the things I did. And I was very grateful for that in the Shrine game as well.
You had a very good touchdown. Do
No,
you do
thank you.
you tell me a little bit about that touchdown? I know it's been a while since we talked about what your game day performance is. Tell me about the East Shrine Bowl touchdown.
I would say it was good. We kind of went in all week knowing that play was pretty much going to work. We had other good tight ends at the game as well with us, and all three of us pretty much did really well at that specific play, and I just lucked up, and I was able to be there when the play was called, and just capitalizing on the moment pretty much. Then of course you could celebrate in the NFL now, so I had to do a little celebration.
And I know you're moving forward. You're really excited about moving to the NFL and going to the NFL Combine, but you also spent a year at UVA. How much did it mean to play for the Cavaliers and play under Bronco Mendenhall and Robert and I?
It was really great. I couldn't thank them enough for giving me that opportunity to be invited into that culture, the team culture, and just learning under their great leadership. Coach Bronco Mendenhall is a outstanding coach, outstanding person, just like another father figure away from home, pretty much. Coach Robert and I, same way. I love Coach and I to death, and I still talk to him to this day. Just giving me the opportunity to showcase, putting trust in me, and giving me the opportunity to showcase what I could do. And especially with all the other coaches as well, Coach 2J, Coach Higgins. I even talked to Coach Elliott a little bit before I left, before I was making my decision. And even him, just from the little small time we did have, I learned a lot from him as well and his values as well. And I appreciated that because I could still take that along with me as well. So just that whole staff was really great. And I was very blessed to be there at the right time.
Were you shocked when Bronco Mendenhall decided to step down?
Definitely. I was definitely shocked because I would say like I said, at this time I was still reevaluating my options, and I actually had a conversation like a day or two before with him in his office, one-on-one meeting with him, just to talking about like my options and what I'm thinking. And of course, they voiced to me that he wanted me to come back and play another year with him, and but he also just left it up to me and what I felt like was best for my family and things of that nature. And yeah, it was very shocking. Cause I didn't get any like notions from him that was the case. If he was going to do that or not. So um, I didn't feel any type of way because I respect his decision. He always knows he always knows pretty much what's best. And I just appreciate, like I said, I appreciated him even because that's a hard thing to do. And I know that it was a lot of stress on his shoulders. And I just appreciated him for at least, telling us and going about it kind of to me a little bit the right way. Uh, how he felt and how his family feels. So uh, can't really say too much about it because I don't really know that much about it. But it was I would say it was pretty good.
How much did him deciding to step down play in your decision, or just thinking back on your decision? You said you had a lot of options you were thinking about if you're going to stay or you're going to go. What was the ultimate decision factor for you to decide to enter the draft?
Um, well, when he stepped down, I actually talked to him again, and I talked to our AD, Miss Carla. I talked to her a lot as well because I kind of wanted to know who was the next coach going to be first before I made a decision. So um, when they end up announcing that Coach Elliott was going to be the coach, I actually waited and I wanted to talk to him first, see what type of offense he wanted to run, just the things in that nature. And Coach Elliott was like he's mind blowing. Talked to him as well, just the same way. I could have came back and played with him, but like I said, I felt like it was best for me and my family. to try to take this thing to the next level, pretty much. But yeah, with him, it was really cool. I talked to him a good little minute before I left, a couple of days too, and I learned a lot from him as well already. And I know if I did come back, like the team is in good hands, and I put that 100% into that, and I feel great about all my guys back there at Virginia.
I was going to say, do you still talk to some of those guys and hear stories about how their winter workouts are going? It seems like it's pretty intense.
Every day, I talk to them every day, especially my roommate, well, my best friend, pretty much, AJ, the corner. Yeah, I talk to him pretty much every day. He tell me everything, and then I talk to pretty much all of the other guys as well. And they said it's going really well. They really enjoy it. I would say they really enjoy it a lot.
And as you're moving on to your next chapter, what is something that you're going to take away from that time at UVA? What is something that you will always remember? And what do you want fans to remember? What is the legacy that you want to take from this?
I would say, like with the first question, I would say I would take just like the aspects of life that Coach Mendenhall was teaching us every day. We always had like a team meeting every morning, and he talked about something different, and it always like hit home with us. Like just like with me when I was at Oklahoma State, um, it was more of a day-to-day thing. Get your work in, and you put in the extra time. But when I was under Coach Mendenhall, I kind of hit it more on the, kind of dug deeper more. I think he brought that out of me a lot, which I ultimately is grateful for. Like just a simple thing of, bringing a planner every day, writing my little journal, what are my goals for the day, my goals for the week or the year or the month. Just doing the little simple things, and it just turned me into, I would say it turned me into a more detailed person where I was most in home in what I wanted to get done and how I would go about getting it done. And I would say that would be one thing I would take from being at Virginia to like from life on. And just like for the fans and everybody else, it's like that's a good little question. I'll just say I'm always represent being a Who. I'm very proud of being a Virginia Cavalier, and I would just know you gotta Who for life, man. I'll just say that.
Just listening to you talk, you seem to have such a great relationship with Bronco Mendenhall, Robert, and I, with the players, with the fans. Was it a no-brainer for you when you had to decide whether or not you were going to play in the bowl game after you decided to go into the NFL draft? Obviously, the bowl game never happened, but you said you wanted to play in that bowl game.
Oh, yes. It was a no-brainer, especially how the season was going. I was always ready not to, like, quit or be that guy that, what a could have, if type of person. And, just being with Brendan one last time, KT, Billy, Rashawn, just everybody, that whole offense, the whole line, just being with them one last time, not knowing what the future holds. I just wanted to, have fun again, pretty much. We know like the last 4 games wasn't what we hoped it would be, and just want to put a win by your last name for your last game, pretty much. So, yeah, that was a no-brainer. Coach, actually, it was just funny because Coach Anai and Mendenhall was like, when I was like, yeah, I'm playing. And I was in walkthroughs, running like normal, doing everything normal. And it was just like, oh, like, we didn't know if you was going to think about it or not. And I was like, oh, no, you don't have to worry about that. We good to go. And we was up and rolling for the whole boat game. So, yeah, I'm very sad that, of course, it didn't happen. But at least we still had the practices and we still had fun in the practices as well. So I'm happy about that, at least.
I talked to Devin Darrington last week for our other podcast episode. He's like you. He's preparing for the NFL draft, getting training for the pro day in Charlottesville in March. One thing he was telling me about his preparation was how his food intake changed, how he's really mindful of what he's eating, where he's at Texas and they have their own chef in that training facility and they kind of get meals. Is that the same thing with you as well?
Pretty much. It's we have like this chef that works with us and provides us meal plans throughout the week. and you pretty much eat twice. Well, we eat 3 times a day and morning. So the way our program is set up, we have like basically 2 gyms. One gym is more of like this community gym, and another gym is like specifically for us and some other people. But like one gym, you can go get your breakfast, and then the other gym, you get your lunch and your dinner, and it pretty much both are prepared for you, and they have your like specific calorie intake and how much you should eat. And oh yeah, I will tell you one thing: it is a grind eating it. Boy, the healthy food is a grind eating it, but you know what it is, it will help you for. So you kind of get the job done. But ooh, I tell you, it's
a lot of chicken and broccoli. A lot of chicken and broccoli.
Chicken, broccoli, potatoes, cauliflower. I tell you, I have never had so much cauliflower until I got here. So yeah, it's a haul.
Yeah, Devin says he can't even eat the Texas barbecue while he's down there.
You got to be disciplined.
But so was that an adjustment to you, seeing this whole, your day planned so routinely, and kind of every second of your day is kind of taken care
of? Not necessarily. I wouldn't say necessarily, because that's kind of who I am in general, and especially being at Virginia, that's kind of how we ran things. You kind of plan, your agenda all the time, at all times, pretty much, and it do help being from Virginia and how we did things there until now. It kind of helps because you just following into a different method, but you're doing the same routine pretty much. So especially with me, when I first got to Virginia, of course I was like a little bit heavier, and I wanted to cut some weight off. So I kind of put myself on a diet plan throughout the summer, getting ready for the season, and I ended up like accomplishing it. And then during the season, I kind of just stayed on that temporarily to kind of hold that weight. And right now I'm just basically doing the same thing I was doing when I was in the summer again. So it's not really anything new, but just a different method to your madness, just say.
So how much weight have you lost since, I guess from the summer to Virginia and then Virginia to now?
So I was about 272 when I first got to Virginia. I was doing really well at that weight, but I wanted to get down smaller because I knew I can do more. And I knew I can be that like dominant type of guy if I cut it down a little bit more. So I went from 272 to about 260, and then played that around that weight throughout the year. And then now I'm about 252 now.
So we have to thank the cauliflower for that.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely.
Final thing. You talk about being more dominant on the field. When you look at Virginia's roster of those guys that are returning, like Brennan Armstrong, Keaton Thompson coming back for another year, Billy Kemp coming back for another year, what kind of expectations do you have of these Cavaliers this upcoming season?
Well, one thing I would say, one thing that I did learn from them guys, like that made us bond really closely, especially when I first got there, is those guys were really hard and they're very consistent. And I think that's like the number one thing that a player should be, is like consistent with how hard he works, or like the methods to what they do on a daily basis to get themselves better. And especially with all the weapons coming back, each one of those guys, that's their character pretty much. So like with me, I'm very comfortable in seeing them and how well they're going to do, especially under Coach Elliott. No matter if it's a different offense or not, I know they're going to thrive really well. All of them just has that it. All of them has like that it factor to themselves, and I'm just excited to see it. I think it's going to be something special and something great to watch. And I'm gonna definitely try to get back in Charlottesville if I can, if the season allows me to, because I definitely want to see it and be with my boys.
You think they win the ACC championship?
Definitely. I have high hopes on that. I definitely believe so.
Well, Jelani, thank you so much for talking with us and answering our questions, and just letting us know what you've been doing there in California.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.